Hey fam, welcome back to my channel, Lipedema. I'm Holly, and today is day 4 post-op. So if you've been following my journey, you know that I had surgery scheduled for the end of month March. That was on Monday, and today I think there are a lot of medications going around in my system right now, but I think it's Friday today. And so I am at that point where a lot of the things that you hope for as a good benchmark for success after surgery have happened. Had my first poop, super excited, peed on my own. I'm walking around, and I would say that now I've kicked back the heavier medication so that I'm only taking them either before I have one of my MLD, manual lymphatic drainage massages, or before going to sleep. The rest of the day is going to be like a Motrin party. So now that I've been able to get enough on my stomach to be able to take the Motrin, I've restarted my Wegovy, and I've restarted my hormone replacement therapy oral medication, which I had switched to the patch because that was the requirement. They're like, if you want anything, it's going to have to be a patch before surgery. So before I get into what happened during the surgery, I'm going to just stand up, let you see what I look like now, so you can see the kind of during. And I'm not sure if swell hell has sort of kicked in yet. I'm definitely seeing some swelling for sure, and for that reason it's kind of hard for me to tell if there's a difference. So you let me know in the comments if you think there are any differences, and I'll show you a picture of me before. Okay, so here we go. You'll note I'm in DC right now, so I'm staying with my best friend who's doing all the things for my recovery. She's been amazing. And this is what we're working with right now. So you can see where my ankles are. My feet are super puffy. I feel like they're just sponges soaking up everything, which is totally gross. But and try to ignore the mix of compression that I've got going on. There's a whole story behind it. I'll let you know later. But at the end of the day, where the focus was supposed to be on the fronts was going up here, inside, up here on the leg. And you can see I'm actually pretty mobile today. Like I can do this dance even if nobody wants me to, I can do it. So this is kind of where we are right now. And on the backs, it was kind of very similar, but focused mostly on the lower with some more in the knee area and then coming all the way up. So you might have guessed by the fact that I didn't kind of go in depth on the plan for the back, that we didn't get there. And that's only kind of part of the story. So I spoke with my doctor today. I wasn't able to speak with her right after surgery because, of course, my phone died, hard died, black screen, right before I went into the OR. And thank goodness for best friends because I would have been so miserable, but my best friend actually found someone that does cell phone replacements, fixing them, and they actually fixed it. I was never had I even hoped. My son had this vague, he's like, I think there might just be a connection. So when she suggested taking it to one of the little cell phone replacement or repair shops, I was dubious. I was already planning on finding the old standby phone that I have at home that I just never really liked, and so I got a new one, but I kept it just in case, or going to Google and opening a claim for this one. But surprise, surprise, the next day I had a phone that was working. The guy didn't even charge because she shared my story, so he just got a really, really great tip, and I'm so thankful to him because it was such a relief, the mental anxiety that was happening because I just didn't have a phone, from just not being able to check my work Slacks or being able to communicate with everyone, having to rely 100% on another person, even someone as wonderful as my best friend, was just tough. It was tough, if I'm honest. And I'm super type A, so if you hadn't figured that out by yet. So, but everything's good now. So what did my doctor tell me today? So what ended up happening, they had taken about 3 liters, and that was what she said she thinks she got out from fat was 3 liters. And that was already 3 hours into the operating time. So at that point, she was kind of thinking about, all right, so she said the fat was very fibrous. It was really tenacious in there. So she said just getting the fat out was taking a long time. And because we discussed maybe needing another surgery, but we hadn't discussed what happens if we get up to that 5 liter mark, which for the District of Columbia where she's operating That would have involved discussions of admission to the hospital. It would have involved additional blood tests to like determine like different parts of blood level, like hemoglobin, because then you're going into like a high volume liposuction. So because we hadn't discussed all of those things, she made the tactical decision: we're going to get what we can get in this one. If we need to go back and touch up these areas, we'll touch it up. But she wanted to make sure she started with the areas that I told her were the most important to me, starting with my fronts. And essentially, she basically did all of my fronts from my ankle up to my hips. She did the front. But really, she said she kind of got like a 270, right? She wasn't able to get the entire way around, but she's like, we got probably a 270, because I was telling her I did feel a lot of pain on the back of my calves especially, so I was kind of wondering what was going on if she hadn't been able to get to that. So she did a lot. She got a lot done. We got 3 liters out, which is amazing. And I don't know, there was some element of validation, right, in hearing her kind of talk about the difficulty and the fibrosity of the fat, right? You just, for whatever reason, anyone diagnosed with this disease, I think, will agree that you have this feeling where you constantly have to prove to people, no, it's a thing. It's a real thing. So I'm just really, really pleased with how everything went. I trust her implicitly, and so I know that she made the right decision for us, right? Not just for me, but for us. She made the right decision. So that's kind of where we are right now. I'm 3 liters lighter in my legs. They look like they're swollen so much that it feels to me like they look about the same. But I've had my first manual lymphatic drainage massage. It was excruciating, and I'm happy to talk in greater detail about that. But the person who gave it, and this is shout out to Jocelyn at Snatched LLD, I was really, or LLC, yeah, Snatched LLC. I'm really happy with everything she's done. I'm so glad that I did the massages earlier versus waiting, because I was definitely so swollen. And every time that she's come back, it's felt a little bit better, a little bit better. I can sustain touch a little bit more. And I'm just so thankful now. If we had gotten to upper thighs, I wouldn't be able to be comfortable in any position right now. But at least now I can relatively easily sit on things. So thank goodness that that was the part that was spared. But I'm in high spirits. I've had my poop. I've had my MLD. I've had 3 of them at this point. Actually 4, if you count the one that my best friend did for me. Like she's learning, so God bless her, that she wasn't afraid to just get in there after she saw Jocelyn do it a couple of times. So feeling good. I'm down to the point where pain medication is really just the Motrin, and I don't feel like I'm tracking everything 100% in real time. So like there's a part of me that's like, did I just tell them about the Motrin like a hot second ago? So I've got a little bit of that brain fog going on, but overall feeling really good, feeling like we're making progress, and feeling like every day is a little bit easier. The other thing I would say for anyone who's kind of going through this process and they're wondering about the pain, like it's no joke. It's no joke. It was very, very painful to begin with. What I would probably say is that the pain never felt unmanageable with the pain medications, and it was a familiar pain. Like, I don't know if this will resonate with everyone, but I definitely prefer a pain that I'm familiar with. And so when it's a new pain, something that I've never felt before, that's when I start going, am I having a heart attack? Is something terribly bad happening? And it just sort of ramps up my anxiety. This pain was a lot more like having, I don't know, like a killer day at the gym for like legs or some big like muscle group. And then, you know, like maybe a day later or like 2 days later when you're like, oh, I can barely move. It was kind of like that, but just like, you know, on 10, right? So very, very familiar. It didn't feel like scary. It felt like this is muscle soreness. That's kind of what it felt like. So I think that was a better, it's better than what I was expecting. That there's every once in a while you get like these like wild sharp shots of pain. That happens. And I know, before you say it, everyone keeps telling me, just wait. On day 4, on day 7, on day 10, on day 30, like that's really when it's going to kick in. You're still feeling the anesthesia, but you just wait. So I know everyone has their theory about like when the secret pain is going to resurface, and cool. I'm ready for it when it comes, like bring it on. But for today, for right now, I feel really good. And it's very, very manageable. If I didn't have any of the hard pain medication and I had to just do Motrin from now on, that would be no problem. If it had been Motrin from the very beginning, Gee, I don't know. Like it would, I think my liver probably would have given up the ghost before I would have been at a point where it was relieved enough. And I definitely wouldn't have slept well, I think. But, it's possible. It's possible that it could have been okay if I had been really good about the management and if I doubled it up with Tylenol. So she was saying another option is that I could take Motrin and extra strength Tylenol, so that you're kind of like hitting the pain on all three levels, like a physical, like emotional, and then also like inflammatory aspects of pain. So I feel really good. I'm so thankful for my best friend. I'm so thankful for the opportunity to recover in DC in her wonderful, beautiful home. And by the way, you can DoorDash anything here. So I've had some really delicious foods, which is really nice when your stomach's kind of like it needs to be teased a little bit, coming out of surgery. So it was great to have all of these different options. And I would just say if you're getting ready to go into it, you're going to make it much worse in your mind than it's going to be. And I think that level of preparation makes sense. But it's doable. You've got lots of other Lippy sisters out here who can kind of talk you through it. And I encourage you to reach out if you have any questions. I'm trying to keep this video a little bit shorter. I kind of maybe have failed on that one. But I will break up and share some other little snippets as we go along this journey. And I'll be sure to include, I think, on the back end of this, my very first video that I made where I was kind of talking through what it was like to be right out of the operating room, like right after we got home. It doesn't make a lot of sense, but you might get a kick out of it. So just wanted to like offer that up too, because I know looking at me day 4 might feel like, whatever, heifer, you weren't always feeling this perky. And I wasn't, for sure. So I wanted to make sure that I left you with something real as well. But by the way, haven't done hair yet. This is still working with, keeping my little chef's cap on the whole time. I did shower, but I just wasn't up to doing hair. Definitely don't have any makeup on. And I'll try not to use filters. It's tempting though. It's really tempting. But this is really how I'm feeling. And that's at this moment. Like, catch me an hour earlier, an hour later. You're going to see some variations depending on kind of where we are in the pain management spectrum. But generally, feeling pretty good. And each day is better. So, super hopeful. I know. Just wait. Just wait. I'll wait for it. All right. Well, I hope you'll like and subscribe, get notifications as I release new videos. I'm really, really looking forward to sharing this journey because I don't even know what's going on underneath this compression, but I'm hoping it's wonderful, wonderful things. And I will talk with you soon. Take care. Bye.
I am probably 8 hours or so post-op, and it's I think 2 o'clock in the morning. I had to wake my best friend up for a bathroom run. Feeling good. I did just take my medication, so that's part of it, but it's manageable, and I'm just grateful for the people who love me enough to take care of me, and I'm happy that it's over. But that's less than great news. So it looks like I'll probably need to go back for another surgery. But what it is. And we discussed it at the time, the possibility. So anyway, I'm gonna try and get some more sleep.